4 algebraic forms of writing a linear function. Because no matter how we write it, once we put it on the graph, it looks the same. Yes? Okay. Those 4 forms, you already know them. You know them. You love them. Number 1 in your hearts. Number 1 on your programs. General form. Yes, sir. What is it? And we know all the rules that come along with that. All the rules and privileges of using general form. What are those rules? A must be a natural number. It could even be 0. A must be a whole number. B and C must be integers. And then we have his ugly cousin, standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. Any different rules here? No. Then third, we have y equals mx plus b. That is slope-intercept. I should have reversed them. Hold it. Don't write that down. I don't like the aesthetic. It's funny to watch how many of you are actually erasing right now. It doesn't matter. They're your notes. You could have put, never mind. Y equals mx plus b. What are our rules here? Not so much a rule, but what does this tell us immediately? If y is isolated, what do we automatically know? Slope and y-intercept. And lastly, my personal favorite, because it works all the time, I'm going to call it slope point form to keep my aesthetic going. Slope, slope. I like me some alliteration. Ooh, double alliteration. Standard, slope, slope. Although, is it alliteration to repeat the same word twice? I don't know.
It's where you repeat.
I know what alliteration is. I'm asking if this applies as alliteration, because the first sound is still repeating. Let's take a vote. Who says this is still alliteration? I do too. All right, who disagrees? Who didn't bother to vote in this nice, easy question that is just kind of fun as the last block for the day? Leave your hands up, because the next question you need to have your hand up for this too. Who's lame? Yes, keep your hands up. Okay. And that tells us m is the slope and x1, y1 is a point. But opposite. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, so now without using any graphs, we are going to do all this work only using your friend and mine, algebra. Although algebra is such a pain in the rear because he's always asking about his x. And what's the next part of that joke?
Why?
I don't know why. That, when I retire, I'm going to get a saw. I'm going to saw up underneath so nobody can see. And I'm going to go, and it's going to break. I'm going to be an old man. Everyone's like, and I'll be like, oh, I guess 40 years of telling good comedy has finally taken its toll on the desk. That'll be awesome. That's two things I have to do when I retire, because I also need to walk to LA. My grade 11 class don't think I'll be able to walk to LA when I retire. So, 2032, May 30th. Well, I assume at the end of the school day that day. I am not going to be one of those people that's like, I just don't know what to do with myself when I'm retired. Wait a minute. You don't know what to do when you'll get paid the exact same amount to not go to work? I think I know what to do. Anything else. Huh? I know. And yet people come back. I don't get it. Bzz, bzz, alarm. Oh. Man, I'd like to stay in bed, but I got to eat. I guess I got to go to work. Fast forward to 2032. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Oh, I don't want to go to work. I want to stay in bed. Oh, but I got to eat. Oh, but wait. I'm going to get paid today even if I don't get out of bed. That's what retirement is. No. All right. Anyways, back to math. Number 1, using algebra without a graph, what of our four options are we going to use to do number 1? Of course we're going to use slope-intercept form. Why? Because we have a slope and a y-intercept. Y equals 5x plus 4. Boy, that was difficult, right? Whew! Everybody take a breather. You've had to pay attention for 8 seconds like a goldfish. You'll be fine. I say that because, of course, your people's attention span has been compared to the attention span of a goldfish. 8 seconds. Goldfish have, of course, a brain smaller than your pinky finger's fingernail. But it would be funny if I was joking, but I'm absolutely not. Sadly, we insist on keeping you in classes for 80 minutes at a time when you have an attention span of 8 seconds. Let's go. So, which is why all of you give me a hard time why I go from math to not math, math to not math so often. It's because I know you can only pay attention to 8 seconds at once. Change your... It's science, Riley. I'm just kidding. You guys all have better attention span than goldfish. That's an average, and all of you are obviously above average. Yeah, maybe 12, 13 seconds at once. Yeah. Who knows? Sky's the limit. All right. So now we're going to put that in standard form. So what do I got to do? Jordy, what do I got to do?
Well, you have to isolate the y-intercept.
To go into standard form?
Well, yeah.
What do we got to do? 5x plus y? Minus y equals 4? Minus 4.
That's what I said. You have to isolate 4.
Oh, you have to isolate the y-intercept. I'm so sorry, Jordy. I thought you said I have to isolate the y value. Oh, silly me. That's on me. Goldfish attention span. Right? You started talking and it took 8 seconds to get to the y-intercept part, so I stopped listening at y. My fault, not yours. Whew. General form? Man, you guys are brilliant. Huh. It's like somebody taught you how to do it or something. Number 3, what are you going to use? Point-slope form. Now, here's the thing. A lot of you don't remember that opposite thing about point-slope form, even though I showed you why it worked. So some of you, if I ask you to do this, you're going to use point-slope form, because of course you have a slope and a point, yeah? And some of you will go, oh, all right, okay, so yeah, y minus 2 equals 2/3 x plus 6. Some of you are going to write that on your test tomorrow. You're writing it down right now. Why? It's not right. That's the point of what I'm trying to say. Some of you are going to forget that opposite thing, right? Now, in this unit, and indeed in all future units, that 6 represents what? X. That negative 2 represents what? If I put 6 in there, I get 6 plus 6, which is 12, yes? And 2/3 times 12 is 8, yes? And if I put that negative 2 here, I get negative 2 minus 2, yes? Which would be negative 4, yes? Now, in your universe, does negative 4 equal 8? No, of course not. Which is why you have to remember you must do opposites. Because what you're left with is y and x, y and x. Or x and y. So now, 6 goes in for x. 6 minus 6 is what? 0 times 2/3 is what? 0. And negative 2 plus 2 is what? And 0 equals 0. So if you don't remember that opposite thing, you can take 1 second and check after you've written it out by putting those back in where the x and y are. If it doesn't work, oh yeah, it's opposite. Okay? Okay. Now, we are going to take this value, this equation, and we are going to work with it down here. So you may want to write it again, or you may just want to look up here. We've already done this once on our previous work. I made you do this once. So we're going to do it again. How do I turn that into my good friend, actually he's my least favorite, standard form? Okay, but we don't have a y-intercept here. Mantaj, what do you want to do? You want to get rid of the 3? That is some badass math, sister. Now, how many of you are going to forget to multiply this side by 3? I told you how to do every question you've ever had on the test. Right?
Ouch.
Now, 3. So now I have 3y plus what? Equals what? X minus 6. Now what?
Now you distribute the 2 into the x minus 6.
Now what?
Now you move it all to one side, so you take 3y, which would be negative 3y, and you move it to the right side, then you take positive 6, which would be negative 6.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Standard form, big guy.
Oh.
So what's moving?
Negative 12 moves. To the left and it's going to be 18.
Standard form. Does the 18 have to be on the right? No. General form?
General form,
Yes, sir. 2x.
minus 3y minus 18 equals 0.
Woo! And lastly, slope intercept. It's a color I haven't used in a while. Ooh, light blue. Okay. Jeez. We just used purple right there. That's purple.
It looks like black. It looks like black. I'm also blind.
It is purple. See? Purple pen. What's this one then? Lavender pen.
You should use that one.
I will. Even though I hate that old song, Lavender Blue Dilly Dilly. Oh, I hate it. You wouldn't know it because you're way too young. But when I was a kid, my mom was your grandparents, and my mom sang songs like that to us because we were, it was way back in the day, right? So, anyway. What are we going to do? Jordy?
Well, now we're going to just isolate y.
And I've stopped paying attention. And this time, it was the right time to stop paying attention. Why?
Indeed.
Indeed. 2x minus 3y equals 18. Isolate y. Should I move y?
No.
Well, you can move 18.
I could move 18 and then move y. Could I move 2x?
Yeah.
Who's in charge of this? You are. So go. I'm not going to show you because I don't want to color your decisions. Lavender. Nor would I want to color them purple. Nor would I want to color them pink. So, of course, what's the answer? Who's offering me the answer? Mandaj.
Yeah.
Jewel, never mind. Go, Mandaj.
Y equals 2 over 3x minus 6.
What? That's what I got.
This is hilarious. What? What? Yes, that's what I got.
I knew it.
Celebrity deathmatch, is he right?
Yeah.
Of course he's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got.
I know that you got 2/3 x minus 6.
I can get 2. Just 2. Why equals 2? That's it.
Okay, number 5. I need the equation of a line, so I have 4 choices. What would be a good one to use? You could use point-slope form, couldn't you? Now, if you were going to use point-slope form, what do you got to find?
Slope.
How do I find the slope?
N equals y2 minus y1.
Is it okay to write it that way?
Yeah. I can't tell.
Is it okay to write it this way?
No.
Yes.
Wait, yeah.
Is it okay to write it this way?
No.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Is it okay to write it this way?
No. No.
Yes.
No.
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 You're back in the saddle, Jewel. That's, of course, wrong.
Yeah.
Because I reversed the x's and y's. All right, so what is the slope? 1/3. So now I have choices. I could go to slope-intercept form right away, couldn't I? Because that's y equals mx plus b, yes? Do I know m?
Yes.
What is it? 1/3. Do I know x and y? Of course I do. What's x? 1 or negative 2. Absolutely correct. What would be the smarter one to use? 1? Sure. Plus b. And what's y?
4 or 5.
4 or 5. Well, I've used 1, so what's y? 5. And then I would solve that. 5 equals 1/3 plus b. Bring that over. 4 and 2/3 equals b. So what's the answer? Y equals 1/3 x plus 4 and 2/3. Is that okay? The other option is, of course, as Jordy said, point-slope form, because you have 2 points, don't you? And you have a slope, right? So if you put either one of those points in and then move it around to get to here, what will happen? I'll get the same answer. But you have to be careful. Is this okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Is this okay?
Yes.
Is this okay? Am I still okay, Jordy? Am I still okay? Still okay? Still okay? Still okay?
Yep.
Still okay?
Yep. No.
This is fun. All right. Did we all good? And then, of course, we would just do algebra on this to get it back to here. Right? Okay. Look at number 6. Read it carefully and tell me what form you would use. It's only like 8 words. Somebody should have said a form by now. What'd she say? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 5/3 isn't a word.
Bruh. Or when you sing it, you say it.
Anyways, Harry says I should use slope-intercept form. Is Harry right?
Yep.
Why do you think Harry's right, Jordy?
Well, I mean, because you have, all you need to do is you need to replace y with 0 because the x-intercept is 2.
Harry wants to use slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Okay, so is this right? Y equals 5/3 x plus 2. No, of course not. Why?
Because you wrote 2 as the y-intercept.
And 2 is the what? X-intercept. Do I know the y-intercept?
No.
No. So what do I write there?
B.
B. Do I know x and y?
Yep.
Of course I do, because what are they?
0, 2.
Is it?
2 and 0.
What goes here? What goes here?
2.
What's 5/3 times 2? What does b equal? No. Negative 10/3. So is this okay? Y equals 5/3 x minus 10/3. Is that okay? No. Is that okay? Yes. Is this okay? 3y equals 5x minus 10.
Yes.
Is it? Is that one of our forms?
Yes, that's right.
Is that one of our forms? No. Is this okay? 5x minus 3y equals 10. Yes. Is this okay? 5x minus 3y minus 10 equals 0. Is this okay? Y. Don't Jordy me. Y equals 5/3 x minus 2. No? Yes? Jewel, it's like I'm not even teaching you anything. Is that okay or isn't it?
No.
No? Yes?
Yes, final answer is yes.
Yes, of course it's okay, because that's point-slope form, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that is y plus 0.
Yeah. I do that.
What do I have in number 7? I have a point. Is that point an x or a y intercept? No, it's just a point. So I probably want to use point-slope form here, yes? But can I use slope-intercept form? Yeah, because I have an x and a y. What is the point of me doing this to you? Why do I keep saying yes, no, why? No. No, it's because every x and y always can go back into any form you have. It doesn't matter, because if you have the point, You have an x and y, no matter what. And that is the only concept, it doesn't matter, that matters in this unit. And yet, I have kids saying it's difficult. Whenever you see that, you have an x and a y. So you always know what to do. Okay? Now, there is a trick here, though. I've got the x and the y, but if I want to use slope-intercept form, it's y equals mx plus b, right? I have the x and a y. What's missing? Slope and b. Okay. You're not fooling me, Mars. I'm going to use point-slope form. I still need a slope. Okay. What's the slope? It's parallel to this, which means it's what? The same as this. So how do I take that and get to a slope? Go. I'll wait patiently to get a slope from that yellow line.
Keep going, Simmer, you're almost there. 3/4. Keep going. One more, and I swear you'll get it. 7. 75, 100.
That would be 3/4.
6 over 5.
Can somebody who is not giggling like they're at an American dentist and are hooked up to laughing gas please give me an answer?
Why just American?
Because Canadians don't use laughing gas.
That's dumb.
We freeze you. Because laughing gas is dangerous.
Never mind.
And you shouldn't ever be unconscious in a room alone with somebody, which is what laughing gas does to you. Haven't you seen Horrible Bosses?
My mom always comes to the
So again, I wait patiently for somebody to tell me the slope. What? 3 over 5? Jordy.
-2/4 or -1.
I know you did, Simmer. I didn't say you didn't, and then you started your endless list of other numbers. It wouldn't have ended if I kept doing this. So, our m equals -1/2. So now I have a choice. You do this. Your choice. Are you going to use the black or the blue? Your choice. The black is, of course, yo. Because when you bring this 2 over, it becomes -2x, and then you divide by 4. And the blue one is, of course, y minus 1 equals -1/2 x minus -3, which is plus 3. Now, which of those two is right? Both. Which of those two shows me your best grasp of all the concepts? Isn't it both? Because what's the concept? You're subbing x's and y's in, right? Which one is the one that will allow you to finish your work in the allotted time? Blue. Okay. All right. What are we doing with 8? No flies on that one. Which one are we going to do? Because it's a short day, what are we going to use? Which is the quicker one? Slope point form is a quicker one, right?
Yeah.
So what's the slope that I'm dealing with?
Slope,
So, what's the slope that I must then make perpendicular? Negative 1/8. But what's perpendicular to that? Positive 8 over 1, which is really 8. So what's my equation? Y y plus 2 equals 8. Done. Okay? Damn, that's got nothing in it. I'm on T in the afternoon. 5 lines, yes? Give me 5 equations. Go.